Man, I surely hope that we are able to capitalize on this situation. Uh, make lemonade from these lemons. Uh, because honestly, there has never been a time in my life that conservatives had this much control over the zeitgeist. Um, Not even close. And I've never seen Democrats so back-footed, um, so totally out of touch and out of step. Um, they're unhinged. And I've never seen so many liberals or centrists that have been Democrats their whole lives and their families were Democrats. I've never seen so many all at once either leave the Democrat Party or start researching or start becoming start leaving the Democrat plantation. They start leaving the party because honestly, it seems that the Democrat Party has gotten to the point where those who are in that party, it wreaks nothing but havoc on their life. I've seen several people saying how much better their life got when they started seeing things differently. And all those people are so receptive to what we're talking about. I mean, I think a lot of people are the Democrat Party. It's that ideology is evil, and those people are living in despair. They have no foundation, no grounding. They don't touch grass. And so our message is, it's so appealing to them. I mean, the Democrats would have you believe that nothing is better than anything, everything's morally relative, when really people just want a sense of normalcy. They want safety, especially when they have kids. They want safety. They want normalcy. They don't care about left and right anymore. They just pray that it's in the center where there's no violence, so their kids are safe. And they have, those people that have always been Democrats but are centrist and are reasonable, those people are totally gettable. And it was hard since Trump first got elected. It was hard for me to see him as a unifier, even though he would say it, and I get why he would say it, or I thought I did, because he was basically a moderate. He was a Democrat for years. And then they started shifting to the left, especially with Obama and stuff, and he got out. He was too old school for that. And, he's a centrist. So, but I never saw him as that he was going to be a unifying figure, because he was, he's who he is. He's a pretty charismatic, pretty alpha guy. And I still didn't believe it. Even last year at the after November, I still didn't think he would be able to do it. But what's crazy is I'm starting to feel as though maybe he is the one that's going to unite everybody together like Reagan did. Maybe this terrible tragedy that's upon us, or that happened to Charlie Kirk and to everybody last Wednesday. Maybe this is a fresh start for America, a fresh start for American politics. And Trump might be the perfect guy, because he's a centrist. He's got the 80% side on every issue. He's not an abortion hardliner. He's not hardliner on anything except the common sense stuff, the stuff that's American, it's American as apple pie, like gun rights. I mean, it's like, he's the perfect guy to be in there. Yeah, he's a little bit crass, but I feel like people have been propagandized to hate him and stuff. And now that they're starting to wake up. And starting to see what's been said about Charlie Kirk is total garbage. Um, Maybe Donald Trump, they won't see him as such a terrible message, maybe, or messenger, and maybe it'll cause them to look into Trump a little bit more. But our message right now, like, we couldn't have a more of a big tent platform in the Republicans right now. Like, we are on the make. Our party is on the rise. We're swelling our ranks. The Democrats are going nowhere. They're only shrinking. We're just in, I mean, which is good because we want to do good things for our country. We want our children to own homes. We want to own homes. We want to leave this country. We want to be good stewards of this country. And I believe, and I do, and I believe, typical conservatives and Republicans do as well. And like and bringing our culture back, and bringing our bringing all the good things that made America great back. And I think people that are on the fence now, or that this has shaken, as long as Trump doesn't make a butch, if we can see some good things happening, man, I mean, the Golden Age thing might not be pie in the sky, but we really need to focus on welcoming these people. Making sure that they're not crooks, they're not grifters, they're not just trying to take advantage of the situation and pretend, but people that are genuinely on our side, and that could recognize evil when they see it. And I'm extremely hopeful. All of a sudden, I had no idea, first of all, that Charlie Kirk was as big as he is, that he's as well known as he is. I mean, he's a rock star, and I guess it has been a decade, but he's huge. But then second, how much it was going to rile the left up and cause them to commit suicide, basically. How much it was going to affect me personally. How much it was going to affect liberals. I mean, could there be a more watershed moment in the West, in the Anglosphere? I mean, even England, during their Unite the Kingdoms protest or rally, even they were like, this is BS, man. Even they, they're locked in the same struggle as we are. And, and I'm really grateful that Charlie was able to speak at the Oxford Union and debate, because I think he won the Brits over. I mean, he's been winning them over, but I think, and that got him fresh in their mind. And the fact that America and our government, the Republicans, we're trying to help the English people fight back against their tyrannical government, and they really appreciate that. And I'm seeing this beautiful coming together of America and England, specifically England. Maybe hopefully Scotland and Wales and Ireland will be along shortly, but I'm truly seeing people grateful reactions to what J.D. Vance spoke of, to what Trump speaks of. They're just waiting for them to call Keir Starmer's BS. They're like, every time he meets and Keir Starmer throws up his BS facade, playing it off like, they have a First Amendment like us, and they're not jailing 12,000 people a year to our 50 people a year for posts or whatever. So, and I'm sure that shoe's going to drop. Poor Starmer. It's like, you can tell he feels like he's got the sword of Damocles over his head, because they're black bagging cats. They're black bagging guys like they did in that V for Vendetta. They're straight up black bagging people to prison over social media posts, and it's like, he's doing that while, talking out of the side of his mouth about how they're not doing that, and it's just like I don't see him stopping it. So he's going to get called on it eventually, and really, it's like we tried the whole censorship thing during COVID. It didn't work. Didn't work at all. It was terrible. And Elon Musk bought Twitter, and now it's like the floodgates are wide open. What everything goes pretty much, and I guess England, they Starmer and the Tories, they decided to take the authoritarian approach that we had proved didn't work during COVID, making laws, putting people in jail. I mean, this. Luckily, it will. It will. I don't think it will be a stain on England or the Anglosphere. I think it will be a stain on the Democrats, on the Labor. I think it will be a stain on liberalism, Western liberalism. And I mean, I think right now we're actually probably maybe at the valley of a wave, or on the upswing of the crest of a wave. I think after what happened to Charlie in the last week, I'm sure it's a valley. People going to church, people thinking differently. So, I feel like we only have the only way, if our politician, if Trump does everything right, if Johnson does everything right, if Thune does everything right, if everybody does what they're supposed to do, they know what to do. If they do what they're supposed to do and we do what we're supposed to do, we should have a great midterm. And the country should come around. It should change soon. I mean, drastically. I would imagine we'll have a lot less pushback about normal stuff. But I'm getting really white pilled. It's black pill. It's black pilling. It's very depressing what happened to Charlie, and then the reaction. But man, the reaction to the reaction, the outpouring of sympathy, of prayers, and of any help of any kind, the other podcasters picking up the slack and doing the show, and just bringing the conservative movement together, even England with us. I mean, they're in it with us too. South Korea. I mean, everybody's in it with us practically. Everybody felt that with us. And I don't know, it's just, yeah, I mean, like they say, it's darkest before dawn. Man, this could be the start. It could be it was the beginning of violence, but it could be the end and the start of something really great. This isn't, it's not the end, it's just the beginning of the end, let's say. Anyway, I'm just feeling rather optimistic just from reading the tea leaves, and really, the fallout the dust has settled from last Wednesday enough to start making, speculating a little bit. So, hopefully things don't get worse from here. Hopefully we can put the golem demons that have been celebrating an assassination. Hopefully we can put them back in Pandora's box, or shut them up, ostracize them, and everybody else, comes to the table.